Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your July 5th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by 4T Ag Insurance, your go-to contractor for ag insurance. Colt Tritt, he is the owner and operator of 4T Ag. He is a one-man show. He himself ranches, so he understands all the risks that go along with the livestock industry. If your operation is not already enrolled in PRF insurance, now would be a great time to reach out to 4T Ag and get enrolled. And if you want to learn more about 4T Ag and check out everything they have to offer, head on over to their website, www.4tag.net. That is the number 4, TAG.net. We are also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. If you're wanting to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Almost every week, they are hosting classes somewhere between Texas and Tennessee. If you want to check out their schedule, head on over to their website, www.circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there. Or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. According to the cattle range, last week, Joe Biden's ambitious plan to address climate change hit a major hurdle when the Supreme Court ruled to restrict federal reach in controlling emissions at power plants and beyond. In a 6-3 ruling, the court sided with conservative states and fossil fuel companies in adopting a narrow reading of the Clean Air Act. The EPA is now restricted from enforcing climate-friendly industry-wide changes, limiting the agency to actions only targeting individual plants. Food Dive has reported, according to Beyond Meat CEO Ethan Brown, the fake meat company will launch a plant-based sliced steak, the first of its kind for the fake meat market. The sliced steak product is designed to replicate a whole cut of meat. Despite this big announcement, Beyond Meat sales have suffered over the last year, and it doesn't seem like things are on the up and up. They're not getting better. Last month, the company reported a $100.5 million loss during the previous quarter. Furthermore, the company's stock price has been consistently declining for the past 12 months, and shares in Beyond Meat have lost almost 64% of their values since the company's IPO in May of 2019. This update is also sponsored by Ag Risk Advisors. They manage your risk so you can manage your operation. With the weather being so unstable, there is no better time to look into coverage for your feed crops. The annual forage deadline is right around the corner. With their state-of-the-art technology and second-to-none customer service, you can be confident that your policy is in good hands. Ag Risk Advisors, risks averted, legacies preserved. According to Meeting Place, as you all know by now, as the 4th of July has came and went, on average, for the 4th of July, consumers paid $69.68 for their favorite Independence Day cookout foods, such as burgers, pork chops, homemade potato salad, and ice cream. And that is according to the American Farm Bureau Federation. So that $69.68, I don't know how many people that would feed, what they're referring to with that number, but I'm guessing it would be very few. So the overall cost of a cookout this year is up 17% compared to last year, or about $10 more than last year, thanks to supply chain disruptions, inflation, and the war in Ukraine. The largest price increase obviously comes from hamburger. The retail price for 2 pounds of ground beef right now is all the way up to $11.12. That is 36% higher than last year. Drovers has reported, come October, France will ban the use of meat terms such as steak and sausage on plant-based protein foods to avoid confusion over trendy meat alternatives. France is the first country in the European Union to impose such a restriction. But the issue with this regulation is it only applies to products made in France. It doesn't cover imports. France's largest farm lobby, FNSEA, claims the regulation is insufficient and will not help with confusion among French consumers. The farm lobby is now asking the French state to extend the scope of application to all products, whatever their origin. Western Ag Reporter has reported extensive amounts of precipitation in the Lingle, Wyoming area caused a breach in the interstate canal this past Friday. According to the Bureau of Reclamation, at the time of the breach, the canal was diverting about 1,800 cubic feet per second. Due to this breach, more than 90,000 irrigated acres will experience a temporary discontinuation of water service. But the good news is that the canal can be returned to service in a matter of days. The interstate canal is over 100 years old, and it serves the Lingle, Hill, and Pathfinder irrigation districts. And I have to say, my thoughts and prayers go out to all those folks out there around Lingle, Wyoming. Whether we're talking about the town of Lingle, cattle feeders, farmers, whatever it may be. I have seen some photos and I have talked to some folks out there, and the destruction looks pretty significant. So definitely thinking of all you folks out there that have been impacted by this breach. Meeting Place has reported, according to USDA's acreage report that was released last week, in 2022, an estimated 89.9 million acres of corn have been planted here in the U.S. That is down 4% from last year. And soybean area planted is 88.3 million acres, and that is up 1% from last year. And finally, according to a tweet put out by National Farmers, year to date, 39% of fed cattle slaughter has been heifers. That is the most since 2004. Pretty darn significant number to consider when we look forward, when we look into the future or our current situation with cow herd numbers. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope you all have had a wonderful 4th of July. I hope you have all stayed cool. It was a warm one here in central Nebraska, but we finally caught some rain, so I cannot complain. You guys have yourself a wonderful Tuesday. I'll catch you later.